Trade deadline just finished, Tommy. We're going to run through a few of these trades real quick.
Huge news.
It wasn't. I kind of figured this was going to be a disappointing deadline for like the transaction population, the population of people that just love the NBA for drama and transactions. As far as I know, no stars moved. It was all ancillary pieces.
But to be fair, you'd say that the three biggest moves of this season have been Harden, Siakam, and OG, and it just happened before 3 p.m. today. Right. So there were big trades, it just didn't happen today.
Yeah, well, think about the trades in the offseason, right? Bradley Beal, Dame Lillard, Drew Holiday, Porzingis, Marcus Smart. All right. Walk me through these trades. I'm just going to simple response. The
Charlotte Hornets are finalizing a trade to send PJ Washington to the Dallas Mavericks for Grant Williams, Seth Curry, and a first-round draft pick.
Okay. I think in some ways it's like a high price to pay. PJ Washington, young player, probably a little more versatile offensively than Grant Williams. Actually, he is. You guys sometimes you get so obsessed with like my words that I'm just like, I got to be PJ Washington is a better offensive player than Grant Williams. There, I said it. Like the deal for Dallas.
Raptors are trading Dennis Schroeder to the Nets for Spencer Dinwiddie.
Nothing against Spencer Dinwiddie or Dennis Schroeder. Neither of those teams are going anywhere this year. It doesn't move me.
Yep. Oklahoma City Thunder are finalizing a trade to send Trey Mann and Davis Bertans to the Charlotte Hornets for Gordon Hayward.
Like that trade for Oklahoma City. I'm actually not surprised at all that there wasn't a big swing. Ever since we talked about them potentially like going for it this year, I've talked myself out of that, and all the sort of indicators were that they were not going to do that. I like this trade a lot for Oklahoma City. Gives them more depth, more wing size. Gordon Hayward, not in his prime anymore. Still a very good player. I like it a lot for OKC.
The big trade that everybody was talking about, especially we're in Brooklyn right now in New York today. Knicks are sending Quentin Grimes, Evan Fournier, 2 future second-round picks to the Pistons for Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks.
Yep. I'm sad to see Quentin leave New York because of the personal ties. A little tug at my heart, but I'm still going to be a Quentin Grimes fan for life. And love this trade for the New York Knicks.
I have 2 questions about this trade.
This is to me the most meaningful trade. Not that Gordon Hayward to OKC wasn't the most meaningful. This to me is the most meaningful.
Our boy Matt Williams, had a stat today. Bogey is one of 6 players in the last 2 years to average 20 points per game, shoot 40% from 3. Other ones are Jalen, Steph, KD, Kawhi, and Jeremy Grant. This Knicks team is pretty loaded.
Yes. I have said for a few weeks, given the uncertainty around Embiid, I guess a couple weeks, given the uncertainty around Embiid and his return, given, I wouldn't call it turmoil, but given the ups and downs of the Bucks season, the fact they are just now entering the hardest part of their schedule, the turnover with the coaching staff, the fact that they, up to this point haven't had, that lockdown wing defender. So in some ways, and in Cleveland, of course, is playing out of their minds. Want to see it in the playoffs for sure, but Cleveland I'm still high on. In some ways, I've said the Knicks, second best team in the East. Very good chance to make the conference finals. They make these trades. They add depth. They add more shooting. Alec Burks is shooting the shit out of the ball. Bogdanovic is a hell of a shooter. They're deep. I think you can look at Brunson as a tier 1 star right now. You can look at Randall as a tier 1 star. The guy's made 2 All-NBA teams in the last 3 years. Mitchell Robinson now potentially coming back before the end of the season. If this team is healthy, the pieces all fit perfectly.
Yeah.
And they have, to me, they have a guy. They have Jalen Brunson. They are absolutely loaded. And I think unequivocally to me right now, on paper, if healthy, I have to clarify all this shit with you guys. On paper, healthy, I think they are the best team, the second best team in the East. The second best team in the East to the Boston Celtics. Would not surprise me if the New York Knicks make a deep run in the playoffs, provided they're healthy. But I love both these trades for them. I love the fit of these guys. Alec Burks, been in a Knick uniform before. Bogdanovic toiling away in Detroit. Great fit for him.
Shout out to the Knicks front office for also making these trades without giving up a first-round pick. The question I wanted to ask you about these two in particular as shooters, they're both shooting close to or over 40% as above the break shooters in terms of the way they get their shots. Do you feel like this fit with Jalen in particular and these guys is made even more impactful for that? And that they're not just guys who are hitting corner threes, but these are guys who can play into the way this offense already fits?
Yeah. Both these guys, to me, are absolutely more versatile than just spot-up shooters, but they are good spot-up shooters. So to me, you take Brunson out of the game, you can run sets for Bogdanovic, you can put the ball in Alec Burks' hands, he can help facilitate a half-court offense. They both fit in different lineups with OG and Randall and either Hartenstein or Mitchell Robinson. There's just a lot of optionality. That's what you need in the playoffs. You need optionality. The Knicks offense, it's been efficient now for 2 seasons. The Knicks offense is not a complicated offense. Generally speaking, they run some ISOs for Randall. They run pick and roll for Brunson. And most everything they do is out of that. Now, they run some fluff, and by fluff, I mean a zoom action dribble handoff at the top of the key. Brunson cuts through. He then gets a swing pass, and they run a step-up pick and roll. It's everything ends up in a Jalen Brunson pick and roll or Julius Randle ISO. Like, that's their offense, right? You need shooting around that offense. You need bigger defenders. OG, I said this at the time, great fit. They go 14-2 in January. Their defense has been spectacular. Hartenstein has been spectacular. The Knicks are for real. The Knicks are for real. Love that trade. And by the way, this is the DraftKings Sportsbook odds pre-trade deadline. So we are recording this at 3:13 p.m. on Thursday. These are the odds as of this morning. The Knicks basically 7th best odds to win the NBA Finals at plus 2,500. Just to go through these real quick. Celtics, Nuggets, Bucks, all at under plus 550. And then you've got the Suns at plus 1,400. Clippers in there at plus 550 as well. And the Timberwolves at plus 2,000. Interesting to see how those odds shift after these trades are done. OKC, by the way, because we mentioned the Gordon Hayward trade, in terms of winning the Western Conference, Denver with the best odds as of this morning at plus 200. Clippers at plus 280. Phoenix Suns at plus 650. And both the Timberwolves and the Thunder at plus 900, essentially tied for 4th. Fascinating what is going on at the top of the Western Conference right now, where these 4 teams, you lose a game, you can go from 1st to 4th overnight. That's a race that we're going to be talking about a lot, particularly as it relates to home court advantage. You think about Denver's run last year, where they get home court advantage for the playoffs, or at least through the Western Conference Finals. And then, of course, because Miami won, they get it in the finals as well. That altitude is a real thing. That home court advantage they have is a real thing. I think that'll be super important. OKC, one of the best crowds
that crowd is
in
crazy.
the NBA. I think that'll be important. We've seen Minnesota now in some of these play-in games and first-round games with an insane crowd. And for the Clippers, of course, I want to call playoff games in LA. So
so this is
come on,
selfish.
Clippers. Come on, Clippers.
Just keep it up.
I need that Riviera action. I need that Bel Air action. Come on. All right, you got any other trades? Or that's it?
That's it.
All right, this has been our DraftKings Sportsbook segment.
The NBA season is in full swing. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app with code JJ. New customers can bet just $5 on the NBA and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code JJ. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/basketball for eligibility and deposit restriction, terms, and responsible gaming resources.